All right, everyone, my name is Richard. Welcome to Fishing the San Diego Fleet 101. We have some really good experienced guests here. Not to throw you on the spot, but always have fun with Alan when I'm fishing with him, and Jeff too. He disappeared too, right there. Anyways, how many of you guys have done San Diego fishing? Other than that table.
In terms of like shore fishing in San Diego, or just boat?
No, boat, off the fleet.
Oh.
Okay, not a lot. There's a lot of misconceptions because, as I read the advertisements for this event, it was like tuna, albacore, all those different things, but that's not what it is. It's much more than that. And there's different categories of boats you go on, duration, how many days you go on the boats, and things like that. So what I'm going to do is, this is a basic, well, I haven't seen that guy in a long time. This is a basic 101 crash course on fishing in San Diego and hopping on a boat, from overnight to multiple days. For me personally, my experience is from overnight to like 10 days. I haven't reached the point in my age yet where I can take 3 weeks off and stay on a boat that long. But one day I'll get there. So we're going to start with the overnight trips at first. And so basically an overnight trip is going to be typically a smaller boat. And it's a smaller area you'll be fishing. A lot of times, I know it's not the best shot, but a lot of times you'll go to like from San Diego to the 43 and to the Butterfly, which is around here. And then from there, you'll have the 1.5 to 3 day boats, which will go a little further. Now there's Butterfly Bank, which will go a little further. And if you read reports on Southern California, you'll always go, fish are biting at Tanner Bank and Cortez and all those places. So basically, for Tanner Bank, it's right here out of San Diego, and Cortez, and 60 miles. So a lot of the bluefin get caught in these banks here. It's, I'd say, 110 miles around there. So day and a half or longer. What you catch on these trips are now big bluefin tuna, regular 60-pound, 30-pound bluefin tuna. And you'll also catch, a lot of times you'll fish kelp patties for yellowtail, dorado, small yellowfin, and sometimes you'll even get a not so desirable fish like skipjack and things like that. Then we go on to a longer trip, which is a 4 to 6 day, which is currently my least favorite now, because usually it's going to end up being like a long 3 day trip. Before we used to be able to go to Guadalupe Island on 5 and 6 day trips. You'll hit San Benito also, and which was really fun because you get some decent yellowfin, really good yellowtail fishing, even some good calico bass fishing. But Guadalupe is closed now, and San Benito is closed now. So, if you're thinking about going on a trip before they start closing even more, I don't know if that's going to happen or not. Fishing is good, go. And then we start going into the even longer trips. This is 7 to 10 day trips. That's my sweet spot. 1, for me, I can afford it. 2, I don't have to take over 2 weeks off from work. So I still have time to go with my family and stuff. And then we get a lot more other fish we can catch, other than because we can get the wahoo, we get yellowfin, tuna, hopefully bigger than schoolie size, or 40 pounders in that range. Grouper, that kind of stuff. Also, with the 7 to 10 day trip, you will be going to Elios Rocks, which is further south, it's down here. And you'll also fish the ridge. And then, weather permitting, I haven't been blessed enough to actually be able to go down there, the upper portion of the lower banks. If the bite's on and the water temperature is right and it doesn't kill your bait, you have a shot on a 10 day trip to get down to big yellowfins. like I said, I haven't been fortunate enough to do that yet. So, anyways, from then you have longer trips, like 14 days or longer. That's when you actually get to fish, you know, like a lot of the lower banks, and then you can get down to Hurricane Bank. All these other places that used to be really good, they're closed. You can't fish there anymore, which kind of too bad, because when I was young and I couldn't afford to do these trips, I always used to go, oh, I want to go there. Now that I can, I can't. So if you want to do this, I suggest you do it as soon as you can. So the boats, there's a lot of boats. They run like 65 feet to 124 feet, and they're set up different. A lot of the shorter trips, they're going to be a different kind of arrangement, but here's a 65-footer. Here's the boat I went on last year. It's like 92 feet. And there's one of the fancier boats. It's 124 feet. Now the amenities on there, it's going to be pretty different. Like your overnight boats, your typical sleeping arrangements are bunks like this. Now there are some short boats, like day and a half and 3-day boats that do have staterooms, but a lot of times on the shorter trips you'll have bunks, which is actually okay. I mean, on a short trip it's not that big of a deal. You're tired anyways. So that's more shots of the bunks. And here's the boat I was on last year, the Polaris Supreme. So this is below the deck. This is where all the rooms are. You kind of, when you sign up, you can kind of ask, oh, what room am I going to be in? A lot of people like certain spots in the boat. I do too, so, you know, the sooner you sign up, the better chance you get on getting a room you want. So these are just pictures of the below deck for the staterooms. Some boats have sinks in the staterooms, some don't. Some it's in a shared bathroom. Some more pictures of the bunks. They're pretty comfortable, and to be honest, you're so tired when you fish all day, you're gonna fall asleep anyways. So, the Galley, there's the short trips are, the Galley's kind of set up the same, but it's more fast food, like flipping burgers, that kind of deal. But when you go on a longer trip or a trip that provides food, you get to eat pretty well. But here's some other shots of some galleys. And that's what happens after you eat. So usually after lunch and you got to run somewhere, this is what happens. But here's some pictures of the food. Salad, we have chicken breast, lamb shank. You know, the last night's usually like a prime rib. So you eat well. So people always ask me, how can you stay on a boat for so long? Well, look at this, right? And I love to fish. So all I do is eat, sleep, and fish. I don't think it's so bad staying on a boat for 10 days. You know, plus there's a lot of good company. You know, I have a good friend Jeff and Alan, and you know, we get to hang out. And you know, I didn't even know Jeff lived like walking distance from my house, and if it wasn't from one of these trips. Pretty cool. So the deck of the boat is really hard to find pictures online. So essentially, here's